Sure, we all get a headache every now and again, but what happens when it goes beyond that? There's actually a new campaign bringing some attention to that very situation. Do you suffer from migraines? Well, you are not alone, because more than 36 million men, women, and children living in the U.S. suffer from migraine, a major disabling neurological disease that costs our healthcare system more than $20 billion each year. Now, many people who don't live with migraine are not aware that symptoms are frequently more debilitating than just a mild head pain. So today, Dr. David Dodick and chronic migraine sufferer of more than 25 years, Lisa Jacobson, are here to talk about a new initiative. Thank you both so much for sitting down with me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Doctor, I said we are going to be talking about this initiative. Why is it so important that we do something like this?
Well, it's important that we do something for a disease that's the third most common on the planet, the sixth most disabling, and one that's not appreciated or recognized as being such. So it is the most common neurological disease anywhere, and more than 36 million men, women, and children suffer from it. And unfortunately, as Lisa will tell you, when patients, for patients even who experience an attack every single day, less than 5%, or that's 1 in 20, who go and seek care, get a diagnosis, and get help. So this is really about raising awareness about a disease that's never been recognized as a disease. It's just been recognized as a bad headache. It's an inherited neurological disease, and it's to mobilize a patient community, a vast patient community, who can begin to self-advocate for more research funding and for better care. And so that's really what this initiative is about.
Well, and like you said, we are going to hear from Lisa on what it does on a personal level, but medically, what is the difference between a migraine and just a standard headache that we may have?
Well, migraine, what's happening in the brain during a migraine attack is that people have a genetically inherited susceptibility for various networks in the brain to become activated. And so there's like a chemical and an electrical storm in the brain. And we know now which networks are involved and which chemicals are released and some of the electrical signaling that's happening. And when that happens, not only do patients get crushing and excruciating head pain that they can't escape from, but they get a plethora or a variety of other symptoms, neurological symptoms like vertigo and paralysis and blindness and numbness and cognitive dysfunction. They can't think straight, they can't talk straight, they can't process information. As well, they get exquisite sensitivity to everything in their environment, light and sound and odors. It's like someone turned up the volume so that light becomes excruciatingly bright and sound becomes very, very loud. And so they're unable to function during this. And can you imagine having one of these every day or one of these a week? It takes them out.
Absolutely. And Lisa, that's kind of where you come in. Like I said, you've been suffering with this for more than 25 years. Kind of tell me the impact it's had for you.
The impact can't be overstated. I've had over 9,000 migraines, and what happens is, you still have to do what you have to do. You have to raise your kids, go to work, deal with your friends, your family, and everything else. And what happens is you have all these symptoms, as Dr. Dodick said. So for me, I would have this excruciating head pain in my eye, in my head. I couldn't think, I could barely see, and I had to drag myself out of bed every single day for the last 28 years and somehow function. And people, it's interesting because on one hand, you're suffering this very severe neurological disease. On the other hand, nobody believes you. The rest of the world thinks you have just a headache. And I think any of us would give anything to have just a headache. And so what happens is it's extremely devastating to people because on one hand you have this very serious illness that is hard to, almost impossible to function with, and on the other, nobody believes you. So it's really rough, and that's why something like this campaign is so important and the first of its kind.
So now that we are seeing the medical side, we're seeing the personal side on how it can affect somebody's life. Where can I go get more information on this initiative and more education on it?
Yes, everybody should go to AmericanMigraineFoundation.org, which is the organization that's bringing all the money and resources to this in this groundbreaking Move Against Migraine initiative.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for telling your own personal story. And Doctor, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of education on the background. And like you were saying, we'll definitely go get that information online.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend will be right back.